After giving birth to twin girls, Kofi's wife gripped his hand and whispered, "Promise me, love our daughters and give them an education, even if it costs you everything." With those words, she took her last breath. After 6 years, Kofi stood quietly beneath the large mango tree, watching the strangers measure his precious land. His heart felt like it was breaking into pieces. This was the land where he was born, the land where he had played as a child, the land where his parents and grandparents had farmed with love. But today, he was selling it all. Silent tears rolled down Baba Kofi's weathered face, hidden from everyone but not from the whispering villagers standing nearby. "Look at him," whispered one woman to another. "Selling everything he owns. And for what?" Baba Kofi pretended not to hear, but their words cut deeply. His twin daughters, Ama and Essie, barely 6 years old, held tightly to his legs. Their eyes were wide with fear and confusion, not understanding why strangers were walking all over their father's land. "Baba, why are they here?" Ama asked softly. "Will they take our home?" Essie whispered fearfully. Baba Kofi gently touched their heads. "No, my daughters," he said softly, trying to hide the tremble in his voice. "I'm giving this land so that you two can have a better future." In his heart, Baba Kofi heard the words of his late wife clearly, as if she stood beside him. "Give our girls a better life." He swallowed the pain deep inside, knowing this sacrifice was the only way to honor her last wish. Just as Baba Kofi signed the final papers, his younger brother, Uncle Kwame, arrived loudly. Kwame's face twisted into a cruel smile, his eyes filled with greed and arrogance. "Brother, you are a fool!" Kwame shouted, loud enough for the whole village to hear. "Selling our ancestral land for daughters who will marry and leave. Have you lost your mind?" Baba Kofi felt his heart sink lower. "They deserve a chance at education," he replied quietly, his voice trembling with dignity. Kwame laughed mockingly, pointing around at the villagers who had now gathered in a crowd, whispering and shaking their heads. "You hear this nonsense?" Kwame yelled, enjoying the attention. "This man believes that daughters can bring honor and wealth. What a joke!" The villagers laughed along, their harsh voices echoing painfully in Baba Kofi's ears. His cheeks burned with shame as he lowered his head, feeling smaller and more worthless than ever before. "Remember this day," Kwame continued cruelly. "When you have nothing left, don't come begging at my door." Ama and Essie hugged their father tighter, tears filling their innocent eyes. Baba Kofi's heart felt torn apart. He wanted desperately to protect them from this humiliation, but all he could do was silently endure the pain and insults, praying for strength. That night, Baba Kofi moved with his daughters into a small rented shack at the edge of the village. It was tiny, dark, and uncomfortable. Nothing like their old home. Ama and Essie looked around quietly, their small faces filled with worry. "Is this our new home?" Essie asked quietly. "Yes, my daughters," Baba Kofi said gently. "But it won't always be like this. One day things will be better. You must trust your father." That night, as Ama and Essie lay asleep, curled together on the small bed, Baba Kofi sat alone in the darkness. His eyes burned with tears that he could no longer hold back. He wept silently, his body shaking from the weight of all he had lost. "I promise," he whispered into the quiet darkness, looking at his sleeping daughters. "I promise to endure every hardship for you. I promise to give you the life your mother dreamed of." Despite the hardships, he dressed Ama and Essie neatly in their uniforms, walking them proudly to the small schoolhouse at the village center. As the girls entered the classroom, their father would smile bravely, hiding the exhaustion and pain that showed clearly on his tired face. One day, Amma and Essie overheard their classmates making fun of their father, saying he had lost his mind, selling everything for them. Amma rushed to Baba Kofi after school, crying. "Baba, they say you made a mistake," Amma sobbed, hugging him. Baba Kofi knelt down, looking deeply into his daughter's eyes. "My daughter," he said softly, holding her face gently. "They do not know what love is. My pain today will become your strength tomorrow. You and your sister will rise above all this, and one day you will understand." Amma nodded, wiping away her tears. Essie hugged her father tightly, her tiny voice determined. "We will make you proud, Baba." Baba Kofi's eyes filled with warmth and pride. "I already am proud," he whispered, holding them close. While Baba Kofi was busy working tirelessly to feed his daughters, Uncle Kwame moved silently like a snake through the village. His heart was greedy, always wanting more than he had. Late at night, Kwame secretly met with the local officials. He handed them a thick envelope filled with money and whispered quietly, "Change the land documents. The land my foolish brother sold should include more of his remaining plot. Just say it was mistakenly measured." The officials nodded silently, their eyes shining with greed as they took Kwame's money. Weeks passed before Baba Kofi heard the terrible news. The officials visited him one evening, waving papers in his face. "There was a mistake. Your brother, Kwame, now legally owns the extra piece of your land. You must leave immediately." Baba Kofi's heart stopped. He fell to his knees, pleading, desperately, "Please, this is a mistake. I already lost everything. How can you do this?" But the officials shook their heads coldly. "We're sorry. The papers have been signed." In an instant, the small savings Baba Kofi had from selling his land were taken away from him. Heartbroken and angry, Baba Kofi stormed to Kwame's grand house the next morning. The large, luxurious home stood proudly on what was once Baba Kofi's ancestral land. Kwame sat comfortably under the shade of the same mango tree that Baba Kofi once loved, sipping tea and counting his money. Seeing Baba Kofi approach, Kwame smirked cruelly. "What brings you here, brother? Have you come to beg?" Baba Kofi's voice shook with emotion. "Kwame, how could you betray me like this? We are blood. Return the land, please. Have mercy." Kwame threw back his head and laughed coldly. The sound echoed, hurting Baba Kofi deeply. "Mercy? Where was mercy when you wasted our family's inheritance on daughters who will abandon you someday?" Baba Kofi's voice broke, tears of humiliation streaming down his tired face. "Please, Kwame, don't punish me for doing the right thing. Think of your nieces. They deserve better." Kwame stood abruptly, pointing a cruel finger. "Get out! Your foolishness made you poor, brother. Don't blame me for your stupidity." Villagers watching from nearby whispered among themselves, shaking their heads. Baba Kofi slowly walked away, his dignity shattered, shoulders bent low. Kwame's cruel laughter rang in his ears as he returned home to his daughters, more broken than ever. Life became increasingly harsh. Every morning before sunrise, Baba Kofi forced his tired body out of bed, ignoring the pain in his bones. He found whatever jobs he could, no matter how difficult or dirty. Yet he never complained. His daughters, Amma and Essie, watched their father closely. They saw clearly the heavy sacrifices he made for them each day. The girls studied tirelessly by candlelight, their small faces serious and determined. They knew their father's struggles. Sometimes they shared a single bowl of porridge quietly, never asking for more, even when their stomachs rumbled loudly. Amma whispered one evening, holding her sister's hand tightly, "We must never disappoint Baba. He works too hard for us." Essie nodded solemnly. We must become someone important. Someone who can give him a better life. Outside their room, hidden in the shadows, Baba Kofi listened quietly. Tears filled his eyes as pride swelled painfully in his heart. As the years passed, Baba Kofi grew weaker, though his spirit stayed strong. Amma and Essie, now teenagers, were hard-working and admired at school. One hot afternoon, Baba Kofi collapsed outside their shack. "Baba!" the girls cried, rushing to him. He smiled faintly. "Just tired," he whispered. Amma begged, "Please rest. Let us help." "You help by studying," he said gently. "My pain is your strength." Essie added, "We'll become doctors. We'll heal you." Baba Kofi's eyes filled with tears. "I believe you." They held each other close, bound by love and hope. Amma and Essie's dreams finally came true. Their hard work had earned them scholarships to study medicine abroad. As the day of their departure came closer, excitement filled their hearts, but sadness filled Baba Kofi's. At dawn, Baba Kofi walked with his daughters to the village bus stop, his heart heavy. The old bus waited, rumbling loudly. Villagers gathered around, whispering in surprise and envy, amazed that Baba Kofi's daughters had achieved so much. Amma hugged her father tightly, tears streaming down her face. "Baba, take care of yourself. Please promise us you'll rest." Essie held Baba Kofi's hand, her eyes full of worry. "Baba, we'll return soon. Wait for us." Baba Kofi smiled, through his tears, trying to hide his breaking heart. "Go, my daughters. Make me proud. Remember, your dreams are my dreams." As the girls climbed onto the bus, they turned back one last time, waving tearfully. Baba Kofi stood tall, waving, until the bus disappeared down the dusty road. Only then did he allow himself to cry openly, feeling both immense pride and deep heartbreak. His world felt emptier than ever. After Amma and Essie left, life became painfully lonely for Baba Kofi. Days dragged into weeks, and weeks into months. The shack felt emptier every passing day. Now older, Baba Kofi struggled to find steady work. His body ached constantly, making it hard to move around. He spent most of his days sitting alone, watching silently as villagers passed by without, greeting him, as if he had become invisible. Across the village, Uncle Kwame lived in luxury. His lavish home stood grandly on the stolen land. Kwame threw lavish parties and dressed in fine clothes, openly flaunting the wealth he gained from cheating his own brother. Villagers admired Kwame, praising his success and conveniently forgetting how he got there. Baba Kofi watched from afar, bitterness and pain filling his heart. He never complained, never confronted Kwame again, choosing instead to bear his pain quietly, waiting for the day when Amma and Essie would return. At night, Baba Kofi sat alone, silently praying for his daughter's success, hoping his sacrifices would be worth it. Despite the loneliness, he held tightly onto the hope that one day he would embrace Amma and Essie again. One cold evening, Baba Kofi woke up shivering and gasping for air. Pain gripped his chest. Pneumonia. Alone and feverish, he struggled to sit up. With trembling hands, he wrote letters to Amma and Essie. "My daughters, don't worry. I'm fine. Study hard. Your success is my medicine." Tears filled his eyes as he sealed the lies, too weak to do more. As the roof leaked above him, he whispered a prayer for strength. Days dragged on. Baba Kofi's health worsened, but no one came. The village stayed silent. Then one night, his door creaked open. "Mama," Yi entered quietly, holding warm soup. "Eat something," she said softly. "I'm forgotten," he murmured. She placed the bowl down, God sees. Your daughters will return. They will heal you." Tears welled up in Baba Kofi's eyes. Mama Ya held his frail hand. "Rest," she whispered. "You've done enough." That night he finally slept in peace, wrapped in a little kindness and a lot of hope. After 25 long years, 2 expensive cars slowly drove into the quiet village, drawing everyone's attention. Villagers stepped out of their houses, staring in shock as the cars stopped at the center of the village. Doors opened, and 2 beautifully dressed young women stepped out, confidently looking around. Whispers filled the air. "Is that Amma and Essie?" People murmured in disbelief. Amma wore a bright, elegant dress, her posture proud and confident. Essie, calm and graceful, adjusted her sunglasses as she looked around the village they had left behind so many years ago. Uncle Kwame stood stunned, recognizing his nieces instantly. His jaw dropped as his eyes filled with envy. "Impossible," Kwame whispered under his breath, stunned by their elegance and success. Ignoring the shocked villagers, Amma and Essie smiled warmly, quickly asking where their father was living. A neighbor pointed hesitantly toward the tiny shack at the edge of the village. With urgency in their hearts, Amma and Essie rushed toward their father's home, leaving the villagers standing silently behind them, stunned by what they had witnessed. Amma and Essie reached the small, run-down shack. Their hearts sank deeply at the sight. The door creaked open slowly, revealing a heartbreaking scene. Baba Kofi lay weakly in bed, coughing painfully, his body frail and thin. "Baba!" Amma cried out, running immediately to his side. Essie followed closely, tears already streaming down her face. Baba Kofi weakly opened his eyes, thinking he was dreaming, but as he saw his daughters clearly, beautifully dressed, he burst into tears. "My daughters," he whispered weakly, his voice shaking with emotion. "Is this really you?" "Yes, Baba," Essie replied gently, holding his trembling hand tightly. "We came back to heal you." Amma hugged her father tenderly, her voice full of emotion. "We made it, Baba. We are doctors now. Everything you suffered for us. It wasn't wasted." Tears flowed freely from Baba Kofi's eyes, relief and pride overwhelming him. His voice cracked as he whispered, "You have healed my heart already, just seeing you successful." The 3 embraced tightly, years of separation and pain melting away in that single moment of love and reunion. As villagers gathered outside the shack, Uncle Kwame boldly stepped forward, attempting a warm, fake smile. "Amma! Essie!" he called, out loudly, pretending kindness. "Look at you both, so successful. Welcome home, my nieces." Amma and Essie turned slowly, their eyes suddenly cold and unforgiving. The villagers watched closely, sensing something important about to happen. "Uncle Kwame," Amma began sharply, "do you remember what you did to our father? How you stole his land and left him in poverty?" Kwame's fake smile quickly faded, replaced by embarrassment. "That was a misunderstanding," he stammered, nervously, glancing around at the villagers now whispering suspiciously. Essie stepped forward confidently, addressing the crowd. "Our father suffered alone while Uncle Kwame enjoyed wealth stolen from him. Is this justice?" Villagers murmured, in shock, turning accusing eyes toward Kwame. His face burned with shame, exposed before everyone. "Please," Kwame begged weakly, humiliation clear in his voice. "Let's discuss this privately." "No," Amma said firmly. "The whole village must hear the truth. You laughed at Baba's sacrifices, but his sacrifices brought us success. Your greed brought you nothing but shame." Kwame stood silently, humiliated and defeated as villagers openly scorned him. His arrogance crumbled publicly, leaving him isolated and exposed. Back inside the small shack, Amma and Essie immediately began treating their father with gentle hands and loving care. They brought medicines and carefully prepared food, their presence soothing Baba Kofi's heart even more than his body. As they lovingly cared for him, Amma softly whispered, "We're here now, Baba. You will never suffer alone again." Essie gently helped him sit up, giving him medicine with warm soup. All those years of pain and sacrifice, we promised to turn them into years of happiness now. Baba Kofi's eyes shone with gratitude and joy. Watching his daughters, strong and capable, treating him with the care and dignity he had long been denied, healed him more deeply than medicine ever could. Outside, villagers silently peeked in, ashamed of their past neglect, amazed by the love and care they saw inside. Baba Kofi, sensing this, whispered softly, "See how your strength has changed everything. The village now sees the power of sacrifice and love." Amma and Essie nodded firmly, tears in their eyes. "Your pain ends here, Baba," Amma promised. "We are back, and we'll never leave you alone again." Holding his daughter's hands tightly, Baba Kofi finally felt peace and pride filling his heart. His suffering, his struggles, all now transformed into pride, love, and endless joy. With their newfound respect and influence, Amma and Essie wasted no time. They quietly but firmly approached the local authorities, armed with documents and evidence proving Uncle Kwame's theft. Their voices, now strong and respected, echoed clearly through the halls of the official building. "We demand justice for our father," Amma said firmly. The officials, moved by their success and status, returned all of Baba Kofi's land. Tears filled his eyes as he whispered, "You've given me back my pride, my daughters." Amma and Essie didn't stop at our justice. Quietly, they began building a new home on the ancestral land, brick by brick, flower by flower, turning pain into beauty. Months later, a stunning estate stood where emptiness once was. The villagers watched, in awe as the sisters stood hand in hand, proud of what love and sacrifice had built. On a warm afternoon, Amma and Essie gently led Baba Kofi out of his shack, tying a soft cloth around his eyes. "Trust us, Baba," Amma said. "Today is your day," Essie added. Baba Kofi smiled nervously as they guided him through the village. At the gates of their rebuilt ancestral home, they paused. "Ready?" Amma whispered. He nodded. They removed the blindfold. Baba Kofi gasped. Before him stood a magnificent estate, glowing in the sun. Tears streamed down his face. "Your mother sees this. She's proud," he whispered. The three embraced tightly, their family finally whole again. Villagers gathered quietly outside the new home, heads bowed. "We were wrong," one whispered. "Forgive us, Baba Kofi." Baba Kofi stepped forward with a gentle smile. "I forgive you. True wealth is love and sacrifice. My daughters showed me that." Then came Uncle Kwame, broken and tearful. "Brother, I was blinded by greed. Forgive me." Baba Kofi met his eyes. "I forgive you, Kwame. My daughters helped me see clearly." As he embraced Amma and Essie, pride filled his voice. "My pain was for a season, but your success is forever." Amma and Essie hugged their father tightly, hearts filled with pride and joy. Around them, the villagers smiled warmly, celebrating this powerful lesson of love and sacrifice. If you loved this story, hit that subscribe button. Besties. Remember, true success always comes from love and sacrifice. Share this video to inspire others.